If you're just joining this journey without having watched the previous videos, this video series is the story of my overland adventure through Oregon and Washington. Over the span of 2 weeks, I traced approximately 2,600 miles of rugged backcountry roads and remote Pacific Northwest wilderness, living out of my Jeep dispersed camping the entire time. I mostly followed the Oregon and Washington Pacific Crest Overland routes, and the Olympic Traverse route. I also deviate from the PCORs and follow a few small sections of the Oregon and Washington backcountry discovery routes at times, since they crisscross each other many times and often follow very similar or identical paths. This is day 3, the final day in Oregon. It takes us from the serene waters of Timothy Lake, through Mount Hood National Forest, along the iconic Bennett Pass, through the Columbia River Gorge and across the Bridge of the Gods into Washington, and ends near the Forlorn Lakes.
Good morning. It rained on us the entire night. It's kind of peaceful though. Let's see what's on the agenda. The agenda today is the Mount Hood area. I'm gonna have to refuel a government camp and then do Bennett Pass around Mount Hood. Bennett Pass is like a trail. It's only rated like a 3 or 4, but it's supposed to be beautiful, awesome views of Mount Hood. And then in theory, by the end of the day, we should make it to the Columbia River Gorge and be done with the Oregon portion of the trip. These forests are just so dense. We are going to Little Crater Lake. It's like a 250-yard hike. And look at these meadows going on here. It looks like the rain is letting up. Blue skies. These meadows are beautiful. That is beautiful. Look at that. That is so cool. And how clear it is. That's so crazy looking. That place was well worth the little 1.2 mile detour and 250-yard hike. That was so cool. I would have never known about it either. I got that waypoint, place of interest waypoint marker from the BDR, I think it was. So yeah, that was awesome. Definitely worth it. That's the second place off from the BDR that I have really enjoyed. I imported the BDR and the PCOR for both Oregon and Washington. I deleted most of the waypoints from the BDR, all the camping waypoints and stuff like that, but I kept a lot of the place of interest waypoints. So last night we did not end up staying near Bagby Hot Springs. I didn't stay at the springs because the campground was nearly full. Every little pull-off, every little nook and cranny, there were people packed everywhere. And it was $27 a night. You're out of your mind if you think I'm paying $27 a night for a campground. It was $27 plus that didn't cover the hot spring fee. Like you had, I think it was $10, so day use fee, which is crazy. $37 to camp and use that damn hot spring. Out of your minds. Didn't get in the camp until like 11:30. This is becoming a trend. One of these nights, I'm gonna get into camp at a respectable hour. It's beautiful. Oh man. We are at the start of Bennett Pass here. It's so pretty here. So excited. Look at this view of Mount Hood. Look at that. There's like this fog rolling through, and look at this. What is this? Is a vibe. Look at that. Look how moody that is. It's just blowing through here. So I refueled at government camp over here, and I just ran Bennett Pass. This blue one right here is Bennett Pass. I just ran north to south. Originally on the BDR, I'm pretty sure the BDR has you come up here and run it south to north and then hook back on the highway up there. But I wanted to incorporate this track from the PCOR, I think this is. And I could have this backwards. This might be, I don't know. It's hard to tell because I have my other tracks, my daily tracks overlaid, so. I just came to this highway right here though. Instead of coming around here, I'm just gonna follow this and cut this off right here. Save a little time. And then right here, I think we get back on dirt, come back up here. I will say that Oregon is quite confusing to me in the fact that something will say forest road, which is, in my experience, forest road means dirt road, like unmaintained. Well, maybe maintained, but like maybe graded, but dirt. But in in Oregon here, forest road, what seems like the majority of the time still means paved. Like, it's like very narrow, one car wide, one vehicle wide. It's how a forest road would be anywhere else, but it's paved, which is very strange, and it's throwing me off because, like, if I would have known this is paved, I would have aired back up, especially if this whole way is paved. But then I don't want to air back up, and then it turned to dirt. That's another thing. It'll be paved, a lot of it, and then randomly turn to dirt, and then randomly go back to paved, but still be called forest road, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand. Another problem has popped up, inexplicably. I went to fly the drone, and I have a wingtip missing, broken off. Inexplicably, all of my propellers are not in my drone bag. So we are going to try to have to limp through the rest of the trip with a partially damaged propeller. It still flies fine, it's louder. And I'm assuming with that propeller tip broken off how it is, it's going to use more battery because it's not going to be as efficient in the air. crazy place for a campsite.
We just got out of the little Mount Hood tour loop, and it was awesome. Would recommend, especially the end. There was some views right at the end of Mount Hood, and those alone made it worth it. We're actually making really good time today. It's 4 o'clock. If I were to just take the highway, Google's route, I would make it to Fort Hood, I think it is, the Columbia River Gorge, in like, I think it's like 30 miles. So very close. The route doesn't follow pavement the whole way, but I mean, even if it doesn't, I'm still close. I have a lot of day left, and Columbia River Gorge is the end of Oregon and the start of Washington PCOR of this trip. So I might have to cross over into the Washington side to find camping, is what it looked like, but I might be able to find it over here. So it's good I'm ahead of time, doing good on time, because who knows, I might need a little time to find camping. So we're slowly leaving Mount Hood behind now in the rear view. I just got one final really good shot, like glimpse of it through a clearing, just perfect. It made me kind of sad. I don't want to leave this area. Mount Hood is beautiful, it's cool. But we have greener pastures to look forward to. No matter how beautiful Mount Hood is, I think where we are headed just may trump it. I just went to one of the first waterfall trailheads, and I realized it's like, well, the first one was like a 3.5 mile hike with a ton of elevation, which I'm just not down for. And then the second one I had marked was actually closed due to a landslide or something. And the third one I had marked was like a 5 mile hike. I don't know how I don't pay attention to these things when I mark them, but I just honestly don't feel like doing that. So we're crossing into Washington right now. I am about to cross over the Bridge of the Gods, and I'm so excited, and we're gonna find camping just a little ways up the Washington PCOR somewhere. here's your reminder to pay attention to your maps, or more accurately, to be sure to zoom your maps out sometimes, because I just took a whole entire BDR, quite the segment, probably the last like hour or more than an hour. I was on the BDR, which was a diversion from the PCOR. I am glad I did it, because it was it followed this ridge line kind of along the gorge, and then it was beautiful. But I zoomed out here once I hit pavement here to see, how far until I need to jump back off this pavement up to these campsites that I might be coming near. And would you look at that? The blue is the BDR, which I was following just blindly because I had my map too zoomed in. This red was the PCOR. I was supposed to come over here. I was supposed to stop at those waterfalls and try to make it up to these forlorn lakes. I'm still going to try to do that, but I am now just going to follow this pavement and then try to backtrack to them. It wasn't a waste of time, because that drive was exquisite, especially with the lighting, the gold sun shafts coming through the trees and stuff. 10 out of 10. Now I'm going to have to decide tomorrow if I backtrack to Panther Creek Falls. It is what it is, I guess. I got a little extra adventure. This is the most lily pads I have ever seen in my life. What in the hell? Washington so far has been beautiful, but good Lord, I'm dipping and dodging like I'm in an MMA fight over here with these potholes. They always pop up with a vengeance too. Be going 40 miles an hour and goddamn pothole the size of Manhattan pops up. There's been a few times where I've just did the whole pulled that face and then hit the thing. Afraid I'm gonna break something. I'll tell you what, these forlorn lakes better be worth coming up here, because I have passed many a good looking campsite. These were specifically marked on the PCOR track, and they have a cool ass name, Forlorn Lakes. The Forbidden Lake. They sound like something out of The Hobbit. Forlorn Lakes. You can't be named Forlorn Lakes and not be cool as hell. So, these potholes just come out of nowhere with a vengeance. I feel like I'm in dodgeball and these potholes are just the wrenches. We're almost there though. I have like a mile. So close. I am gonna make a bomb-ass dinner tonight. Guac burgers. I got some snow crab legs
And I am so excited because I haven't really ate that well today. Oh, we're so close. I can taste the campsite. So the Forlorn Lakes were a bust, a gigantic bust. There was probably 30 campsites in total, and there were cars, multiple cars in every single one of them. There were kids running around screaming, chasing each other through the woods. There's people lightsaber fighting with what looked to be LED whips. Music blasting. Jesus Christ. I should have known it is Saturday night. This is what I hate on these trips. I hate weekends. Because it's always a shit show. But it's okay. We just came down the road a little ways and found a spot. Gabby, come here. Gabby, no. She wants up in the tent. This is what she does. She eats dinner. And then she sits there and begs to go in. Don't give me that look. Begs to go in the tent. How do you like your new light harness, Goobs? Since you like to wander off in the darkness all the time. No. She just sits there and looks at the door and then looks at me because she knows I have to open it. Because she's went up that ladder a few too many times and bounced off that door before. Stop looking at me like that. God. No. Gabby, come on. It's either, after she eats, it's either the tent or the chair. Here. You are spoiled, rotten dog. She also had like a quarter of a hamburger, some imitation crab that had crab nowhere in the ingredients, and some dog food. She ate better than I did. It's actually a little brisk up here. I bet it's like low 50s. It feels good with this jacket on, but yeah. I think those sites up there would have been really, really cool, which is probably why they were packed full of people. So it's too bad I didn't get here 2 nights ago, or tomorrow night, because I probably could have got a spot. But oh well, it is what it is.
Special thanks to the Overland Trail Guides team and contributors, and the Backcountry Discovery Routes team and contributors for curating and providing these incredible routes, and providing access to the incredible wealth of knowledge that they do in regards to these routes and all the other routes that they have spent so much time on. Without them, creating a route like this trip from scratch would be incredibly time consuming.